What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Lyrical Lemonade TV. Today, we are drafting the greatest Chicago Bears of all time. I am Elliot. We have Eddie, Greg, and Cole.
If you are unfamiliar with what a snake draft is, you can pause your screen here and check it out.
Pretty self-explanatory. We're drafting the greatest Chicago Bears of all time. Eddie, you have the first pick. You're on the clock.
All right, so I think this is a draft where 99% of people would be on board that there is a 1-1 overall, right? I think everyone probably has the same one. It's 34. It's Sweetness, Walter Payton. Number 2 rushing yards of all time. And honestly, a guy who only wore that one uniform, so obviously that means more as well. I don't know what else I have to say about Walter Payton that exemplifies why he deserves to be the number 1 overall pick. Does anyone disagree? Is there any other argument for a number 1 overall pick?
There's none.
He actually might be a number 1 pick of the entire NFL, if not just the Bears, but
that's debatable. But for sure the Bears.
Top 5.
I think.
I mean,
Yeah, for sure the Bears.
Who's number 1? Barry Sanders?
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
You think Emmitt Smith really?
Well, he broke the record. He's number 1 in rushing yards.
But is Barry Sanders top 5? I mean, I know he
As far
only
as
played
rushing yards?
10 seasons, or like 9 seasons or something.
Guess who's number 3?
Adrian Peterson.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
That makes sense.
I was going to say LaDainian Tomlinson.
He played 20 years. Frank Gore did. My only thing with Walter Payton, I think that's the clear 1-1, but I never watched him play, so like I think y'all can speak
I have a lot of players that I've never played. I like to think I'm a Bears historian to an extent, so I've watched every documentary. I watch old highlights, old games, so I connect with a lot of players that I've never seen. Like, for instance, my favorite player of all time is Deion Sanders. Never seen him play.
That's real. All right, clear 1-1 pick. I agree with Eddie. That's a good one. If I would have had the number 1 pick, I probably wouldn't have picked Walter Payton. Only because, like, I've never watched him. I've seen the highlights. I understand why he's the pick. I understand the Super Bowl champion, all that. But I would have personally picked, and at 2, I'm going to take Brian Urlacher. I was born in 1996, 29 years old. Brian Urlacher, bro, when I was a kid, one of the coolest people ever. Like, I loved playing Madden growing up. He was always a 99 overall. Him and Ray Lewis and those guys. Very athletic, incredible in coverage. Like, when I think of Brian Urlacher, I think of like pick sixes when I was a kid. He was very hard hitting. And Brian Urlacher was one of those where it's like, if he was on the field, like everything was going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just felt safe.
Yeah, he made you feel better for sure. Also, he was a safety in college, so he was super athletic and was able to run around the field in a way most linebackers weren't, or we weren't familiar with.
What are your thoughts, Greg?
Well, I think he was an incredible athlete, and like you said, he was a great DB in college. I think he was very lucky, not in the beginning of his career, but as it got a little later in his career, that he had an incredible defensive line that kept physical offensive linemen off him, and he was able to do what he did. I'm not disputing that pick, but I just think sometimes I feel like he's a little more overrated towards – I just don't – his physicality – it wasn't as great as everyone gave him credit for. He prospered from a great defensive line.
Yeah.
And he was lucky. But you know what? He was in the right spot, and I loved him, and he was great for the city.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with that
He
pick.
was our dog, though. Like
Yes.
age here is a factor. Like, football's a violent sport. You get your gladiators out there. Like, he was our guy. We always knew that we felt good that he was going to be pulling the torch out, He was our guy.
Yeah, but you are right. The D-line that I'm not going to tip any picks, but the D-line that Brian Urlacher had in front of him, some incredible players.
Trailer, Washington, amazing. Those guys were so not really in the forefront like him, but they were very beneficial for his ability to play.
You remember
so well.
Keith Traylor, who we just referenced? He was like 350. He got
greatest.
a pick 6 that
and he
one
was
time.
quick.
Yeah.
He was quick, and he kept those linemen off Urlacher. And if that didn't happen, he was not physically big enough to play his position as well as he did. So he prospered very well from a great defensive line. But he was one of the greatest cover linebackers in his era.
Absolutely.
Ever. Yeah.
All right, Greg, you're up.
All right, once you kind of said you guys were talking about guys that you never really saw play live, I'm going to have to go with Butkus. All right, the guy born in Chicago, went to CVS High School, went to U of I, came back, was an All-Pro at 9 years in a row, his whole career, used to bite people in pile-ups. But I knew him more so I watched videos of him, obviously, just like you guys that didn't see players play.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to him do a game on the radio, there's nothing better. He used to swear. He was worse than any Bears fan. You would hear him just MF players on the team. Like he was 100% Chicago Bear.
He did radio broadcast. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he did it for
I
a
didn't know that
while,
either.
and he was brutal.
Interesting.
Brutal. I sometimes, back then, most of the Bears games are on TV, but I sometimes, even if the games are on TV, I would turn the TV volume off just to listen to him do the game.
I love that. That's beautiful.
He was there was no one better. No one better. Like you could hear things, boom, he would get so hot and angered. And I think he actually had to stop doing that because he was having some heart problems because he would get more worked up during the games.
The Bears will do that to you.
And I also remember the best, October 5th, 2023 is the day he died.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bears were playing, I believe, on Monday night, and I was stuck a lot of money. And the Bears were, 2023, not a good team. They were playing Washington, who was pretty good. They were playing great. And I saw that come up, like, I'm doing this for Butkus. And the Bears kicked the shit out of Washington. It's glorious.
Love that.
All right.
He's your dad's Chicago Bear, man.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy where,
Yeah.
as time goes by, like memories fade and, legacies kind of get watered down a bit. Unfortunately, that's just the way life is. But he was the one guy I felt like your dad was always like, no, you need to know about Dick Butkus. So I always appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
He's definitely a top 5 Bear.
Without a doubt. Incredible pick, Greg. Cole, you were up. You had 4 and 5.
I'm 4 and 5. Okay,
Yep.
so I actually ran through this in my head of who I thought you guys would all pick, and it's pretty spot on. So here I am at number 4. I'm here to get Devin Hester.
All right.
Growing up, the time I did, it was the most electric possible player you could see. Growing up, watching him was the biggest joy. Never knowing if he was gonna, take it back or not, and knowing that he could at any given moment was second to none. And then that opening kickoff of the Super Bowl, I'll never forget it. Most electric player, incredible college superstar as well. I watched his highlight reels
Yes.
nonstop, back to back on replay growing up. So yeah, I would say he's the coolest, most electric Bear of all time.
Electric is the perfect word. The thing with Devin Hester is we haven't seen anything like it since. Like, we've seen other great linebackers like Urlacher I referenced. We've never seen a true electric return man like that since. And he retired, probably 8 years ago?
And the great thing about him is since they switched the rules, I don't think we'll ever see another return player like him. He's the best. He's the best returner of all time, and we'll honestly, truly, probably never see another one like him. And you can argue that with a linebacker, a running back, or a quarterback. The positions are always developing. I really feel like we won't see anyone else like Hester ever again. The way he was able to read a field and attack it, come on now.
Yeah. Just a call from Joniak. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous. It's something we'll never forget.
Yeah.
Ever.
We'll never forget. Although I will say, you brought up that opening kickoff in the Super Bowl. That's like one of my deepest sports regrets. I was picking up a pizza during that, so I missed it. I missed it.
No.
I remember driving and hearing it on the radio, being like, I can't believe I just missed the opening kickoff.
That was the only good thing of that whole game.
Yeah.
Well, the only highlight of the whole game.
A couple plays later, Chris Harris picks off Peyton Manning. They get the kickoff return touchdown, and I want to say it was third down. Peyton Manning gets picked off. I was 10 years old. I peaked in that moment. I was like, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. I know exactly where I was, how that felt.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, hold up. Where was the pizza from?
You know what? It was from, I believe it was from Gio's. Yes, on the Northwest side. Yes.
Gio's.
I love that.
All right, CB, good pick. You were back up number 5.
Chris Harris, that's crazy. I'm not picking Chris Harris at number 5, but that was a good memory refresher. At number 5, never got to see him play, but I've spent countless hours watching documentaries and highlights and games from the 1985 Bears. I'm gonna have to go Singletary, Mike Singletary at number 5. I don't know, he's a real steamroller and
Samurai, baby.
Knew how to exactly. I have a Mike Singletary Samurai poster over there. You have to show it.
Yep.
But yeah, he was one of those players I wish I got to see play, and he just had the wide eyes, and everyone was terrified of him, and Mike Singletary, number 5.
Incredible pick. Actually, how I wrote out my 1 through 5 we've hit it.
Was Mike Singletary in the top 5 for you?
I had him number 5, yeah.
Yeah,
So
there we are.
we're very on track right
I got
now.
one big omission so far, but I'm praying it gets back to me.
That's the worst feeling when it
Yeah.
gets picked up right before it gets to you.
Yeah.
I liked Mike Singletary as a coach too when he was with the Niners when I was a kid. He had that really famous press conference where he was talking about Vernon Davis. I
Yep,
want to say
can't win with him. Can't
Yep.
do it.
Classic,
Yep.
classic moment.
Kicked him off the team, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Sat
yeah.
him.
I would be a terrible GM because I would just hire like former players to coach my team. Like I would definitely.
Hey, they know
hire-
the game.
He's
Yeah.
old school, 100% old school.
All right, good picks, Cole. Greg, you were
eyes.
back up.
All right, you guys, I'm going to talk about a player. It's probably right when the height of my Bears fandom. I was born in 1977. So we're going way back. I know I've told Cole
I know
this, but-
exactly who it is.
So a lot of people don't know this. Buddy Ryan developed his whole defense, the 46 defense, because of this guy. And he never really gets credit. Doug Plank, number 46. I was a little guy just starting to play football, playing with older kids. Everyone was way bigger than me. And I was watching this guy play, and I learned that if you just spare people, which is obviously very dangerous, you can really put a lick on someone with, my 70 pounds, full force with my head down. And he just personified the whole Bears defense after that. Now, he wasn't on the 85 team, but when Buddy Ryan came over to Chicago, he never called anyone by their name. He called everyone by their number. And that's where the 46 defense comes in, because he was a free safety. He's like, 46, we're putting you at middle linebacker. And I want you to do is attack the ball. And that's how that defense, which at the time, and the reason why probably the greatest defense ever was invented, was because of Doug Plank.
Incredible.
That was a
That's
nice little history
that's my-
lesson.
That was beautiful.
That's
Greg,
my-
I'm so happy you're here, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
when they told me we're having someone like a Father's Day here, I'm like, this is awesome.
a lot of people
Because-
don't give him credit, and
Yeah.
he was my guy, just a little guy, long hair, running with his help. Do you remember Earl Campbell was the
course.
strongest running back in the history of the NFL? And he also got kicked to sleep by him a few times. He played the game hard. He personified Chicago, and literally the greatest defense ever invented was because of him.
Incredible.
And I almost have to put Buddy Ryan in there too, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Can't take two.
Okay.
Can't take two.
Maybe I could put them together.
Yeah. All right. Incredible pick, Greg.
was
Didn't
great.
know that. I'm honestly not familiar with Doug
Yeah.
Plank, but I'm gonna do my research.
Yeah, look it up. It's crazy.
All right. When I did my list, I felt like I was gonna skew younger, like I said with my first pick, how I never watched Walter Payton, But I'm gonna pander with this one just for the sake of the graphic, essentially. With my second selection, I'm just gonna take Mike Ditka.
That was it. That was it.
Mike Ditka, really good NFL player, right? Played tight end, played for the Bears. I want to say some other teams too, but then comes back, coaches the Bears, and we're in the year 2025, and people every year still go to Bears games dressed like Mike Ditka. Halloween dressed like Mike Ditka. I feel like he was a solid player, a solid coach, but he was like, when you think of Chicago sports, you think of like a Dennis Rodman, you think of, a Jordan, you think of a Mike Ditka. Like that's one of the first 5 faces that probably pops in your head.
sure.
So I'm, although I never saw him play and I'm kind of going against my word, what I just said, I'm going to take him here.
Yeah,
Great pick.
that's a great pick.
I had him on the list.
I was Mike Ditka for Halloween a couple years ago, I think. A lot of people do the snake drafts with different strategies. I've never done one before, but you probably could have got Doug Plank in the 5th round and could have got Mike Ditka right there. But hey,
You know what?
He's staying true to himself.
yeah, I like it. I like it.
You know what? I'm glad I picked Plank where I picked him.
Yeah, it shows-
And
Yeah.
Ditka, I probably could have got away with taking him from you, but
That was it, man. You snatched him from me. I mean, Ditka, he speaks for himself, like just from player standpoint and obviously his coaching standpoint. Like he's a quote machine.
Yeah.
Like he just means a lot to the city. Yeah.
All right, your backup picks 8 and 9.
All right, I'm going to take the only quarterback who's won us a Super Bowl. It's Jim McMahon. Listen, was he the best quarterback of all time? Not even close. He's probably is he even a top 50 quarterback of all time? Is he
No.
a top 100 quarterback? Probably not.
Top 100 maybe. He's scrappy.
Yeah, mate. But the fact of the matter is a franchise that has been so QB starved, and I know obviously it was off the backs of the defense, he did enough to get it done. So that mixed with the swagger he brought, Pete Rozell's head on the headband, like there was a lot that he brought. The punky QB in the Super Bowl shuffle, he cemented it forever. His legacy cemented forever.
that 1-2 of Walter Payton, Jim McMahon. Eddie's going crazy right now.
Yeah, I love your pick so far.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
I will say, like, Jim McMahon, I, again, didn't watch him, but you know him from the headband. You know him from, like, just how he moved. Like, when you think of the typical quarterback, especially when I was growing up, it was like a Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, like, very, like, I don't know, bland people. And Jim McMahon, even back then, seemed very, what's the word I'm looking
He was
for?
cool. I mean, he left it all on the field.
He had
played with a lot of
grit
heart.
and he was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played with a lot of heart.
A lot of heart. I mean, I still remember that hit.
The
The main
Green
reason
Bay
why
one?
the main reason why it's to this day I still hate the Packers and took them out for the season and cost us a run at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name on the Packers, but he
I
picked him
remember.
up. It was so bad.
He slammed him.
Bad.
They knew what they were doing.
All right, great pick. Eddie, you were right back up.
All right, so I'm going to go with my generation. So, tailing off the Urlacher pick, I'm going to go with Charles Tillman. Charles
pick.
Tillman, the peanut punch. It's what you think about every time. Like this past week, we saw Tyreek Stevenson pull a peanut punch, and forever we will call it that. And it's just a strip,
That was the first thing I thought of.
Exactly. You just think of Charles Tillman. He was just a dog, man. He was just a dog.
Charles Tillman, definitely one of the best defenders from when we were growing up. Yeah, he has literally any youth football camp, whether you're in third grade or you're in college or whatever the case may be, like they all just reference it as peanut punch. Like it's not stripping the ball. Like they all say peanut punch. So I think just being good enough to where you get termed like your own football term forever, that'll last for a long time. So I think that's a great pick. I had him. It might have been my next pick.
Was
so
it?
that's
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That was
And
mine.
Yeah,
It was-
okay. All right, cool. And you want to say like maybe you throw Urlacher in the overrated category? Without question, Peanuts in the underrated category, I think.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I think so too.
Agreed.
Those defenses were so good when we were kids, man.
Also, everyone held their own, which is why I think it's a reason why Charles Tillman was underrated or can be viewed underrated, is because everyone was so good.
I mean,
We
they
looked so
worked,
good out there.
They
that-
worked on that in
Yeah.
practice all the time. I mean, that was something that he almost invented, and you see guys doing it now. And I always think, when I see that, I think of him.
You think of him?
But to
every
be able
time.
to do that in that split moment and locate the ball,
Who
I mean,
did you
that's
s-
such a skill.
Who did you say? What was the game last night? Or two?
Tyreek Stevenson?
Yeah, he did it
Yesterday?
like
Yeah.
four or five times.
Well, they were all trying to punch him.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
attempted
yeah.
it a bunch
Yeah.
of times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man, kind of left me a little flustered. Don't really know where to go
That's
here.
how I felt when you took Ditka.
Yeah, right. Return to sender, right back. All right. With my third selection, I am going to take who's probably one of my favorite Bears as a kid. Very electric. I'm gonna take Matt Forte.
Okay.
Matt Forte, when I was younger, like again, kind of what I said about Urlacher on the defensive side of the ball. There was years where it was like, oh, Matt Forte, like Jay Cutler polarized. Oh. Tipping picks, but Jay Cutler was a bit polarizing. Receivers were never like our strong suit, but we always ran the ball like in the 2010s, early 2010s and the 2000s. And bro, Matt Forte, incredible. He was ahead of his time, especially in like this fantasy world that we live in nowadays, fantasy football.
Totally.
He was a incredible receiver, an excellent running back, ball carrier vision, incredible. Was it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? They were playing, and he has that one crazy highlight where he jukes out the guy, and they just run into each other and just fall flat on their face. That's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I remember watching that live. So I'm gonna take Matt Forte with this selection.
It's a good one, too. And one thing I want to add to that is we obviously heard growing up all about Walter Payton. I feel like Matt Forte was our first run at having what felt like a franchise running back for
Yeah.
our generation that we could get excited about. I personally loved Thomas Jones. Don't want to tip any
love
picks
him
here,
too.
but I mean, Thomas Jones is my guy, but Matt Forte, great pick.
I mean, Matt Forte played for the Bears for, I want to say, 8 seasons. And I feel like we'd never see that. Like, we had Monty for a couple of years. Like, I feel like all the backs we have nowadays, it's like 3 years and then out type thing.
I believe he's a top 10 all-time receiving yards guy too.
That would add
Like
up.
that as a running back.
Yeah, it's
like that's
impressive.
how much
Crazy.
he caught the ball. In a weird way too. Forte, I love Forte. I like the pick. He makes me sad because I feel like we failed him.
I agree.
Because
I
all
agree.
those teams, you think about how good their defenses were and they stand alone, and you'd always hear about bad offenses. He was so good.
It was not his fault.
It was not his fault at all.
Oh, man.
At all.
Like they would have been so much worse off without him.
I went and saw him speak maybe a month ago. Like, it was actually super inconvenient to go, but I like had to make it happen. And it was cool. And he referenced that in his talk where he was talking about, we had really great defenses, offensive not so much. But yeah, I feel good about that pick. So
It's a great pick. It's a great
You were
pick.
back up.
All right, well, we're gonna go back to the 85 team again, and someone that's very charismatic, maybe not the greatest player, but for a guy his size, was an incredible athlete. Actually played in a basketball game on the same court as him, watched him slam a basketball, and I think he was 360 pounds. The Fridge. Yeah. I mean, I think it was the Packers game, and obviously, sadly for Walter in the Super Bowl, he kind of, took a touchdown away from him. However, I think it was a Packers game when they were running up the score and they gave him the ball and he scored. It was the first time you really saw a big 300-plus guy get the ball and score a touchdown. And it was just rubbing it in their face. And I just remember slamming the ball down and that smile with the gap in his mouth. And it was just awesome. And he didn't have a long career. From Clemson, he was good in college. But, I mean, he was just awesome as a Bear.
Underrated aspect of football is just giving the biggest guy on your team the ball and just letting him run it. Me and Cole actually played high school football against each other, and his team, Plano, was known for just putting their biggest kid, and we're like 16. They'd put like a 6-foot, 300-pounder at fullback and just run fullback dive a bunch of times.
Love that.
It's an underrated
You
aspect
guys couldn't
of football.
tackle him.
You couldn't.
Good luck.
Shouts out Trent Bowers, man.
Did you beat Sandwich your senior year?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I know that's a big rivalry.
Yeah. But we have an overall winning record my whole life for Sandwich,
Okay.
so I'm good
I'm
with
actually
that.
really surprised he knows about that rivalry.
Yeah.
It's a Plano Sandwich rivalry.
That is impressive. War on 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to college with a kid who went to Sandwich, and he would say the Plano.
Yeah.
Because it also has some alliteration, too, I
Yeah.
think that's
Plano
alliteration.
sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to say that all the time growing
Actually,
up.
our senior year, maybe we did beat Sandwich. I don't really remember, but it's a classic rivalry.
Yeah.
That's up there with the Bears and the Packers, I'd say.
There we go.
Yeah.
I
Great,
like
cool. Cole, you were up. This is your third and fourth selection.
Yeah, great pick, Greg. The Fridge. Some would say underrated, some would say overrated. Got a lot of big commercials and moments off being a character, and I think he was a big piece of the Bears and the overall idea of what the Chicago Bears were in '85. So good pick. But
Thanks, buddy.
at number, what am I?
This is your third selection.
My third selection. When you think of the Chicago Bears, especially in that 2002 to 2010 era, and you think of the linebacker position, a lot of people go straight to Brian Urlacher, but some fail to remember the power and the impact of Lance Briggs, multiple-time Pro Bowler. Really was a huge piece of that defense. I see Elliot now looking for a new pick. But yeah, I remember just being the biggest fan of Lance Briggs growing up, and my best friend had a dog named Briggs after Lance Briggs. But yeah, I'm going Lance Briggs at my number 3 pick.
And he was a long time Bear.
11 years.
Yeah, that's
And you
that's
don't.
great.
I feel like you
people
don't
forget
see
about
that anymore.
Yeah,
Like who's the longest tenured Bear right now? Is it like Cairo Santos or like?
It's
I'm being
not.
serious.
It's not a thing really as
No.
much.
Komet.
Then that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right
No,
now,
sure.
yeah.
He got drafted in
Pretty
2020.
sure, yeah, him and
2020.
Jalen. Yeah, him and
That's
Jalen
great.
will be.
Man, maybe that's why we liked those teams back then. Is because you had like legitimately years to
You
like.
got to grow with them.
Yes.
That's what I loved about Lance Briggs too, because he played with his heart. He put it on the field, and you didn't hear from him much beyond his talk on the field. So I loved him.
Except for that time he crashed his like McLaren downtown.
Yeah, that'll
You
do
remember
it.
that?
That'll
Great
do
story.
Yeah.
Legendary story.
Damn, I forgot about that. Maybe I take that back.
he ran from the car.
And he like
On
got off
94,
with it.
yeah.
What a fucking
It
legend.
wasn't
man.
him. Says it
Legend.
wasn't him.
And that's man.
Hey, I believe him.
He handled that great.
exactly.
That was my next pick. Incredible pick. I don't need to say anything else about Lance Briggs. You got anything?
No, he's a beast, man. Like him and Urlacher, they should be mentioned as a tandem.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget. He's not going to get picked, but shout out to our guy Hunter Hillenmeyer too.
Oh yeah.
I mean the Three Horsemen, man.
Underrated.
Yeah. Yes.
Very underrated.
What I loved about Hunter Hillenmeyer, just a quick little Hunter Hillenmeyer segment, is bro, he used to lay people the fuck out on Hester kick returns.
He's going to run it out past the 40 into Giants territory. He is going to go all the way.
Like that's all I remember about him is he would lay people out on
Yeah.
the punt returns. But
Yeah, he was nasty, and he lived in the shadows of Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs, rightfully so. I mean, two of the
Yeah.
best linebackers of all time. But Hunter Hillenmeyer definitely held his own.
All
Shouts
right.
out number 92.
You're back
baby.
up, CB. Your fourth
I
pick.
forget that's how a snake draft works. I don't even know if I was ready for this. All right, this next pick, I'm standing on it. I think it will age well. When we zoom out in a few years and we look at this pick,
He's gonna do it.
you guys,
gonna do it.
you guys are gonna, feel however you feel, but you'll say he was ahead of the curve. I'm going Caleb Williams.
He's gonna.
I'm going
do
Caleb
it.
Williams. I think he
Love it.
brings
Love it.
a lot of excitement to the franchise. I think he plays the game better than most. I think he has a lot of passion. I think he has a lot of confidence. I think he manages a lot of outside opinions in a really great, commendable way. And I think he's just an all-around incredible quarterback, and I think he'll be our franchise quarterback. When it's all said and done, we'll look at Caleb Williams as one of the greatest Bears of all time. So I'm going number 18 on this.
I love that pick. I was gonna try to snag him in the 5th round if you guys didn't. Like we were just saying with Charles Tillman, with Lance Briggs, how they were with the Bears for 10 plus. Like that's how I view Caleb. Like, hopefully, knock on wood, everything goes well. But I could see this where it's like, when we're, how old are we, 29? When we're 40, Caleb's like still the quarterback of the Bears.
I want to,
awesome.
I want to be buying my kids Caleb Williams jerseys. I want to look at this down the road and know that we really grew with him as a fan base. And I don't know, I just really, really believe in him. And I think he shows a lot of flashes of absolute greatness. And I'm sticking by him. I'm standing on it. Caleb Williams. There we are.
Underrated part about Caleb as well is I feel like Chicago lacked like star power in the sports teams for a while. Like we had it with Derrick Rose when I was younger, but like a Trubisky or some of those other players before him, like they were cool, but Caleb was legitimately like a college superstar, like a very polarizing person.
Yeah.
Like, you could see it even when he like walks in a room.
Yeah.
And I think he has all the arm talent. I think he's going to be an incredible quarterback in the long run. But the star power, I feel like, is a very underrated. Like for the city, I feel like we needed that.
And yeah, absolutely. And also what you were saying about Urlacher earlier about how you felt safe with him and at all times. I trust that man to get out of any situation he's in. If he's about to get sacked, he will pull it off, and he'll pull it off in the craziest way imaginable.
Yeah.
And he's just elusive. And it's fun to watch, it's fun to watch. I'll leave it there.
We got to give him a little bit of time. We were talking about this before we started doing this. He's already gone through a couple of offensive coordinators, a couple coaches, different personnel. And once he gets Johnson's system down, I think the guy is going to be an absolute stud.
Absolutely.
And you could see just against, I know the Cowboys' D isn't that great, but he had a monumental, huge game. And he's to build his confidence up. And I'm all on the Caleb wagon. I really think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right, the only person not to talk yet is Eddie. So let's get Eddie's thoughts.
So listen, I think this is a pick where, it's like a piece of art. You throw it in a vault for 20 years. People might be looking at this being like, how did Cole get him in the 4th round?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're buying a future stock here,
Right.
for sure. But I mean, if there was a guy to get a future stock on, it's not a bad guy to have a future stock on.
Yeah.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
So
I
see it.
Well said, Eddie.
That
well
was
said.
good.
I see it.
That was good. You can tell Eddie does this. Like
Yeah.
he's very.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I'm honestly inspired just watching you.
I love Caleb so much. Incredible game yesterday.
Yeah.
Wore the jacket in his press conference. It's just,
Yeah.
I love it.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, CB, great picks right there. Greg, you were up. This is your 4th selection.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I can't push away from 85, and it's sad that he just passed away, but he was so great on TV and being in the parking lot all the time. Steve McMichael, Mango.
Damn legend.
He really personified Chicago. He had a Chicago heart on him. And you'd see him around the city all the time, talk to everyone. He was a great player, and he was tough. He never missed games, and he was on that D. And I got him written down, and I took him.
You have anything for this one?
Yeah. Also, what I kind of love about Mongo is how much he was outside of football as well. Like the classic getting tossed out of Wrigley Field after he sang
Yeah.
the 7th inning stretch. You ever seen that video?
Yeah,
Oh,
Al Hampson speaks with that home plate umpire after the game.
dude, he was talking shit to the umpire, and the ump tossed him. Angel Hernandez, like, get out of here.
Angel, the worst umpire in the history
one
of
of the
baseball.
worst. Like, everyone hates this guy, and like, Mongo went at him. There was
remember-
that. He was in WCW. So he like was in the height of like the wrestling era. So big personality.
He
Yeah.
would drink. We'd tailgate at Bears games, and we'd show up early, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we'd walk by his booth where he was doing pregame stuff, and he'd hold his bottle of Patron every single game. But it was pretty impressive to watch him, and no one else was drinking. He would just drink right out of the bottle.
No, wow. That's
Mango
straight-
was the
Talk about big personality. I mean, he was. I don't know. I feel like when we think about the '85 Bears, we were all balanced out. You had Walter Payton, sweetness. He was to himself. He put it on the field and left it there. You had people like Steve McMichael, who was really loud, and he brought a lot of energy and excitement to the team. So I don't know. I love a big personality.
All right. Snake drafts are made or broken in the 4th and 5th round. And I feel like I'm about to break it. I don't feel good about my next pick. I don't know what to do. I have 2 in mind. So I'm just going to go with my gut. All right. With my 4th selection, I'm going to take Julius Peppers.
Wow.
love it.
Listen, the one downside of this pick, I'm going to 8-mile this. I'm going to kind of, combat it as I go. He only played for the Bears for, I think, 1 contract, 4 seasons. But Julius Peppers is probably the most talented defensive player that I've seen in my lifetime. Like, I think he was more talented than Urlacher. Like, 6'8", 272, whatever he weighed.
Specimen.
Super fast college basketball player at UNC. And he was just like, I remember being in 8th grade in study hall the day that they signed Julius Peppers and Chester Taylor and somebody else. And I remember like being so excited, getting a little ESPN alert on my phone and like running down the hallway with my friends like, we got Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers jerseys flying off the
shelves, pairing Julius Peppers with a Lance Briggs, with a Brian Urlacher, and then they ended up, having some good runs after that. That was just a very exciting time for me. Like I said, I understand the downside of this pick is he wasn't like a lifelong Bear by any means. I went on to play for the Packers, stuff like that. But
And important to note, in his 4 seasons on the Bears, three of those years he was a Pro Bowler. I mean, he played well. I mean, a lot of people think about his career on the Panthers, but I mean, he was a playmaker in Chicago.
I'm so shocked that Cole just pulled that stat out.
Come on, man.
I wasn't familiar.
Come on now.
Carolina, yeah, he was a great player.
Yeah.
Just a specimen too.
Yeah, Eddie.
No, listen, Julius Peppers was awesome. We had Olin Kreutz on our show like a couple of years ago, and he tells a story. He's like, so I remember talking to Jerry Angelo, like, hey, Jerry, like, offense needs some talent. Like, we could use a wide receiver. And he's like, don't worry, big fella. We're going to take care of you. We'll get you some wideouts. The next day, he traded for Julius Peppers. It was just like, the Bears were just so D-heavy forever.
And then how long after did we pick up Brandon Marshall?
It was – so Brandon Marshall came he came with Jay, right, the year after maybe?
Yeah.
I believe it was. So that had to be late 2000s. I can't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, he got that wide receiver, but
2012.
Olin Kreutz may have been gone by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Peppers. That's yeah. Kreutz
Well,
was-
I'm
Kreutz
saying he
was
got
gone.
the
Yes,
he
you're
got
right.
a receiver,
you're
but he may
right.
have been gone by then.
Kreutz stopped playing for the Bears in 2012, and it says on my screen here that Brandon Marshall was traded for March 2012.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
There
it.
you
Just
have
missed
it.
him.
Yes.
Just missed him. All right, Eddie, you were back up. These are your final picks.
Yeah, so I spoiled that pick, but my favorite Bear of all time is Olin Kreutz.
That's who I was between with Julius Peppers.
Like my absolute favorite. I was a lineman. I played center.
Me too.
And he was just a bad boy, And like out of all that locker room, all those alpha personalities, from what I understand, he was always the guy.
9-time Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Right?
Yep. Always at Madden. It was like, we got the top center. This
Yep.
guy's the man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always in the 90s.
Never missed a game.
Yeah, that's a great.
That is a great.
That's a
pick.
great pick.
Uh-huh.
Even to
Great
this
pick.
day, I love, similar with like how you do the Bears halftime reports and after the game. I love at the end of a Bears game turning on, I think he's on the score, but he does stuff and I love listening to him. He's talked so passionately about football and it resonates with me. I love hearing him, give his perspective on the game.
Yeah, he was the man, dude. He was no nonsense. Like you're here to do a job, get it done, kind of guy. And that's just kind of that's a lot of what this town resembles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he really clicked. So last pick here, last round.
Your last
great
pick.
pick.
Yep.
Man, we got some heavy hitters still that
Yeah,
aren't.
We got a
drafted.
few.
We do.
We got a few. I'm hoping one of you guys takes the one I'm thinking of because I'm not going to take him, and we are all disrespectful if we don't take him.
I know who you're talking
I know
about.
who you're talking about too. Greg, you got to take him.
Yeah.
We need you. We need you
Yeah.
to take him.
I got it.
I love how Greg
'Cause
didn't
I'm
say anything. He
nervous.
looked him in the eyes and he just nodded.
I know, because I'm gonna take an older player. I'm gonna take the oldest player in this draft so far, and it's not necessarily because of his playing days, but it's the only guy who's got his initials on that jersey.
There you go.
George Halas. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he started the NFL.
Right.
He bought the Bears for $100.
He bought the Bears for $100. I feel like I could just stop talking now.
Yeah.
It's just, his initials are on the jersey. He's got to be on the
He,
draft.
he needed to be picked.
Yes.
Had to. That's maybe the best 5th round pick you could have got. Like,
I'm
Yeah.
happy with it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. It's a really good one.
Is that who you were thinking of?
I was thinking of someone else.
Me too.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of someone else too. To be
Gotcha.
clear.
Because
All right.
I knew that one of you three would grab him, but I was thinking of someone else. Is that who you were thinking of?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Fuck, dude. There's a lot of talent on this board still.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Make these lists are made in the 5th round.
Yeah.
And I'm not really confident about this, but you know what? I'm gonna go with my final selection of this Chicago Bears draft.
You gotta be confident though.
I'm gonna take Jay Cutler.
It's a good one.
Jay Cutler is probably before Caleb the most talented quarterback we've ever had. Arm talent, I understand, not a great leader, whatever. But when we're talking about just slinging the rock, Jay Cutler, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, those teams were so fun to watch. And yeah, I feel like even him pairing up with Matt Forte, and I feel like those offenses were probably the best I've ever seen. There was a year, 2012, 2013, where they led the league in scoring. We've kind of shit on offense this whole time. That was like Jay Cutler held us down in those dog years. And I understand the gripes on him and, you know, why people may not like him, but I love it, bro. Like one of my favorite stories I heard is like some dude ran into Jay Cutler at a bar and they're like pissing at a urinal.
Yeah.
And he like walked up to him and he's like, "Oh my God, you're Jay Cutler." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck off," and like walked away. Like that's hard, bro. Like he truly didn't care, and I think there's a beauty in not caring.
I think that's what he said. He said, "Don't care." Like that's the rumor.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, "Oh, Jay, big fan." Like, don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I love all the fan made highlight reel edits on like TikTok and stuff where it's just him saying something obnoxious in an interview and then it just runs the Jay Cutler highlights and it'll just throw in just like him talking shit to refs.
It's like he
fun.
says something and then like a song turns on and he just trucks a safety. I
Yeah.
love those.
No,
don't
he was
really-
tough. He was tough.
I don't like the fact that in that playoff game, though, he kind of pushed out.
What I'll say about that
I'll
one.
never. I'm sorry. I'm a Chicago Bears fan.
I
No,
hear it.
let it loose, Greg. Let it loose.
That was really disappointing. I actually think he was. I remember we got him from the Broncos. He was a gunslinger, and he was a really good quarterback. He really was. But that playoff game, come on, man.
I think
Come on. I know he was really hurt, but come on.
I agree with you. I think the Bears did him no favors by leaving him on the sideline and just letting the TV camera sit in his face.
Yep.
Like if your quarterback's hurt, if Caleb got hurt, you know, in that situation, send him to the fucking locker room. Get him away from the press, the
Yeah.
cameras. Like they made that situation way worse than it had to be because then it left you and me and everyone else at
I was
home
pissed. I had
off.
a lot of anger towards him.
Yep.
But I think almost all Bears fans did.
Yeah.
And I love like the Smoke and Jay memes. Like the guy
best.
was a quarterback
he's
in the NFL
hilarious.
ripping cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like you don't see shit like that.
He
So-
lived his life.
Yeah.
yeah. But that's my pick, Jay Cutler. Greg, your final pick?
All right. Well, I have to take him because he was probably
I know. where you're
obviously
going.
before Walter Payton, the greatest running back, and it was really sad he tore his knee up. But the Kansas Comet, Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
I
You
mean,
took my
he-
pick, man.
Yeah. I mean, he was an amazing. If you watch, once again, I never saw him, but you watch him playing on the frozen tundra at Wrigley Field, and just ridiculous, like making people miss. I mean, he was an incredible talent, you know, and just now, if it would have happened now in this present time, he would have probably played the next year. But back then, I mean, he just blew his whole knee out, and that was
Yeah.
it for him.
Yeah, I will say the highlights I have watched of Gale Sayers, it looks fake.
Yeah.
Like he'll just juke out 8 players in a row.
Incredible.
It's like, all right,
Electric.
who is this guy? But incredible pick. I'm glad you did it because he was on my list, and you know I wanted to take him, but I can't relate as much. Like you said, the Kansas Comet, I never would have pulled that out. you
Yeah.
know?
He was my first. He was my first ever Bears jersey. Actually, Urlacher was my first. He was my second. I remember.
Hey, that's a good point. Yours was Urlacher.
Yeah.
Greg, what was your first Bears jersey?
Brian Piccolo.
Okay.
Oh, he goes hand in hand with Gale Sayers.
Exactly. That was his. Brian's song is one of the probably the first sports movie I ever watched.
I watched that last week.
I definitely cried.
Mm-hmm.
It was really
beautiful story.
My grandfather got me a Brian Piccolo jersey. I remember that.
I love that
one.
And then right after that was Bob Avellini. That's a whole different story. But
you got stories, Greg.
Eddie, what was your first Bears jersey?
Urlacher.
Yeah. Mine was shows my age here. Anthony Thomas, like 2001.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
A-Train, that's a good one.
35. Yep.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep. All right. Great pick, Greg. Cole, finish us out.
Number 5, I'm going Robbie Gould.
Great pick.
That's who I was thinking.
Should have never left Chicago.
Yeah, number 5, Robbie Gould. You could always count on him. If it was, if it was within 60 yards, really, I knew I could trust him. 50, I'll say 50.
Okay,
yeah. If it was within 50 yards, I never questioned it. Automatic 3 points every time.
Great pick.
And he was a longtime Bear.
Yeah, played for the Bears for over a decade. Two things about Robbie Gould is it's almost poetic how, like, after we let him walk to the Niners, how the Bears just went through this carousel of just, like, shit kickers for some years, which eventually led to the double doink and all these things. Like, we almost deserved it. Like not fans, but like the franchise.
They should have paid Robbie Gould.
Why
he
not?
should have never left Chicago. He loves Chicago. He's a charioteer. I think to this day he still lives in Chicago.
Yeah,
he does.
It's sad. I mean, and he wanted to stay here. He was willing to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
And he's like,
we had a more than perfectly reliable car, and we're like, you know what, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll get by with this new car, and it broke down the first winter it got.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Karma.
I lived in, I grew up in Coal City, Illinois. We got hit by a tornado in 2013. Bad tornado, houses just all over the place. Robbie Gould came down with like his organization, and they helped like clean up the rubble and like help, place people, like, and that'll always stand out to me.
Disrespectful that you didn't pick him.
I was in between him and Cutler, but Cutler was sick, bro.
Did Cutler come help
Robbie
clean up the
Gould.
community for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you
Just
what.
take those houses back.
Yeah, no, facts. You're not wrong.
Probably would have got a DUI.
That's why I was in between. But picking a kicker is not that exciting. That was funny.
Getting a kicker at number 5 though as the last pick.
Great, you had to do it.
Yeah.
You had to do it. All right, really quick. I want us to just we're gonna say our 5 that we had, so everyone either mentally or write it down.
Walter Payton, Jim McMahon, Charles Tillman, Olin Kreutz, George Halas.
My selections were Brian Urlacher, Mike Ditka, Matt Forte, Julius Peppers, and Jay Cutler.
Mine are Dick Butkus, my guy Dougie Plank, The Fridge, Steve McMichael, and Gale Sayers.
CB.
It's a good cast. My 5 picks were Devin Hester, Mike Singletary, Lance Briggs, Caleb Williams, Robbie Gould.
All right, we're all gonna vote for who we think had the best list. Don't pick yourself though.
Mine would have to be. You guys both had really good lists. I'm gonna have to go pound for pound. I'm gonna have to go Eddie on this one. It's solid.
It's a good list.
It covers it all.
That's a
lot of good history.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Getting George Halas in the 5th right there, like that.
Steal.
That
was a
puts it
steal.
over the top. Honestly, my favorite list, I'm gonna go Greg. Greg, I learned a lot from him today. I feel like some real legends on there. Although I maybe wasn't like around to watch them all, I understand the significance and the impact of them. Greg, who do you think had the best list?
You guys all had wonderful lists for all your reasons. I think it's great that, some of the 90, like, players that you grew up and watched, they're always going to be on your list. Obviously there's a couple guys on my list you guys probably never saw. That's really tough. I like Cole's list.
There we go.
I really do.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
I like your list too, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me.
It was really informative. I love that Plank pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Greg too. The fact that you ran to the podium with so much enthusiasm to take Doug Plank, and he gave that story, I'm like, I'll run through a wall for Doug Plank now, because of you, Greg.
Exactly.
Thanks, buddy.
That's beautiful. All right, we're not gonna take too long on this. Everyone give 2 honorable mentions just for fun. I have mine. If you guys need a second.
Go ahead. I'm gonna look.
All right. I love Desmond Clark, bro. I don't know why, but like Desmond Clark's one of my favorite Bears ever. I actually ran into him in Chicago probably twice in the last 6 months, and I don't know why. He was just sick, like Desmond Clark. And then I'm gonna go R.W. McQuarters.
Oh,
just because,
whoa.
like the name, bro. The name was fire. I just recently on eBay bought. He used to have these little coins, that were in this calendar, so I bought like a handful of them. Yeah, R.W. McQuarters,
That's
Desmond
good.
Clark.
R.W. McQuarters is really good.
It's my favorite jersey to see out in the wild.
Me
Go to
too.
Horseshoe
2-1, baby.
Casino, seeing R.W. reporters.
Yeah,
on the craft
it's
table.
strangely
Unbelievable.
enough, you actually see it out there. You
Yeah.
see it in
A lot
the
of them.
strangest crevices possible, but you see
Yes.
it.
If I could buy one, I would, but you can't find them.
Yeah.
But they're out there.
yeah.
Yep.
Sick.
You got yours?
Yeah, man. There's so many. Mike Brown. I mean, he was responsible for 2 of the most electric plays that
Yeah.
I've ever seen as a Bears fan.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so
the
Mike
missed
Brown.
field goal.
Yeah,
It's the Niners.
the bat down.
Yeah.
exactly against the Browns.
Mhm.
Yeah, just like
Didn't
maybe
he had a big play in that Cardinals game too, didn't he?
I
Didn't
think
he have that
did too.
fumble
Yeah,
recovery?
I think he did too. Yeah. Just maybe if you looked overall, like his stats and stuff, he's not a top bear of all time, but just the highlight reels were
Oh,
crazy.
that's a good one.
And I was a long snapper, so I'm going to take Patrick Manley.
I had him on
I
my
love
list.
Love
that.
that guy.
That's a good one.
He was on the
Man.
team for a long
The
time.
longest
Think it-
tenured,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's a great bear. That's,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
Great bear.
When I think of Patrick Manley, I think of Brad Maynard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
That's the
the
combo.
duo. It's a 2-piece
man.
combo meal right
All right,
there.
Greg, you got any honorable mentions?
Well, I kind of mentioned him briefly before when I mentioned Doug Plank. The Bears would have never been anything in '85 without Buddy Ryan. I mean, he developed the defense, and the whole chemistry between. Back then, I was in high school. I used to go to the practices. Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka hated each other's guts. That's the reason why the whole Bears team kind of broke down. They couldn't be together anymore. And those practices, watching them practice, fist fight at every practice in '85, '84, and going full force in practice. And I think that's part of the problem in the NFL right now. These guys never practice that hard. It was amazing. And Buddy Ryan, what other defensive coordinator ever has been lifted up in the players' shoulders after a Super Bowl victory? Buddy Ryan was. So was Ditka, but Buddy Ryan, it was like there were 2 separate teams. And Buddy Ryan was an incredible coach. You know, he developed a whole defense that no one had ever schemed, that no one had ever seen. His success as a head coach after that was, I think he went to the Eagles, and then I can't remember where else. And I got to put him in there. I mean, you know, he kind of gets overlooked because everyone says Ditka. But, I mean, it wasn't for him. You know, they don't win.
I love that.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, I got one more pick, another honorable mention. Richard Dent.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good
Richard
one.
Dent, you know, like he was once again an '85 Bear guy, but he was kind of a younger, you know, before Julius Pepper, just an animal. I mean, he was played in a small school, came there just a specimen, and he was a savage on defense, you know, and he was a great player. So those
Love
are my
that.
2.
2 great honorable mentions. CB.
It's crazy how many stars there were on that 85 defense.
You could
Nah,
say the whole
it's a whole
85.
cast.
The
We
whole
missed some
85
too.
Yeah, the
Oh,
whole
a few.
85 Bears team. Yeah, Hampton.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
Yeah, I think Dan Hampton should.
And
He
he's
could
still
have
in the
been on
Chicago scene, and not, you know,
Yeah.
I think he's great on TV.
Your honorable mention score.
there. Not an honorable mention, but another classic 85 Bear that I think gets overlooked sometimes. Willie Gault.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, Tennessee
I mean,
baby.
you never look at that offense, but I mean, if Jim McMahon was slinging it down the field, Willie Gault was always there to catch it. So
He's an Olympic sprinter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All that to say, Willie Gault is not in one of my 2 honorable mentions. I'm going Thomas Jones.
Classic.
He was my first
Forgot,
running
yeah.
back that I really fell in love with and watched every Sunday. And there's so many different moments that I look back on, and you know, watching Urlacher on D and then Thomas Jones on offense right after. I loved that. And then my second would have to be shouts out to the U. I love everyone that came out of there. I got Devin Hester, so I gotta go Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should have never left Chicago.
That's one where I wish they would have given him a second contract because he went on to Carolina to be a dog for what 7, 8 more years. You ever hear his rap song, CB?
I think I
When
do
he was in
remember.
college.
I do
It's
remember
awesome.
that. You know what's crazy? But what I was gonna say was I think of when I think of Cole Kmet, I think of Greg Olson. I think there's a lot of parallels there,
Similar
and
spots
I
right
think
now.
what Cole Kmet can grow into. I think he'll be one of those longtime franchise players, and I think he'll follow the lineage of the Desmond Clarks into the Greg Olsons, and then we'll look back and we'll remember Cole Kmet, and then hopefully Colston Loveland as well after that, or during this same period. But
soon.
Feel good about Colston Loveland and Roma Dunze.
They finally tried to throw him the ball last game.
Rome is shaping up to be a great.
Damn right. All right, if you've watched this far, you are a trooper. Like, comment, subscribe to Lyrical Lemonade TV. If you are interested in buying some of the Lyrical Lemonade Chicago Bears merchandise that you've seen elsewhere on the table, all that, visit shop.lyricallemonade.com. Appreciate you, Eddie, for being on today. And Greg, appreciate you as well. Cole's first one.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was fun. I want to keep going.
They're great, man.
We'll circle back in some years. All right.
Can everyone else pick one more honorable mention? I just want to keep going for a little bit.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have one ready. I just want to keep the banter going.
How about a couple things that, like being a lifelong Bears fan, that you witness that you want to see happen again?
We can't do that, Greg. I'm sorry. We could do one more honorable mention. All right, I'm gonna go one more honorable mention. I'm gonna say Kyle Long. He was sick. Mm-hmm. He was a dog. I like offensive linemen, and again, some bad teams, and he was just like, the guy.
I like that.
Jimbo Covert, lineman.
Met him yesterday.
Yeah. Did you?
Didn't really realize who he was, and he had asked me about the jacket because he remembered our first collab, and he goes, "That jacket's way better than your guys' last one." And I was like, oh, like talking to this guy, and then he puts on a fucking gold Hall of Fame jacket, and I was asking Joe, and I was like, who is this guy? And Jimbo Covert,
beast.
Yeah,
74, right?
Yeah.
83. He was. You're saying number.
Yeah,
83 draft.
Yeah.
All right, we done? You got one more?
Bernard Berrien.
Classic.
Yeah.
He was so cool.
Yeah, Bernard Berrien.
Love it.
I'll leave it there. I don't even got to expand on it.
All right. We're good.
Wait, Greg didn't get one.
Greg?
I got so many things to say, but I'm going to play off.
All right.
There we go.
Appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to Lyrical Lemonade TV, and until next time.